All right, sports fans. Well, I dropped the article into apparently Meta is so desperate. Facebook is so desperate for people. They encouraged me to get back on. So I love how I'm going to be able, I want to make sure to do this for history's sake. So with X, I'm only on listening mode on X. On X, I can't interact with anyone. Why? They don't need me. Facebook needs me. I want you guys to think about that one. Oh man, boy did he fuck up. And then what did he do? He had to go and kiss the ring. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I crossed you. I crossed all y'all, betrayed all y'all. I'm so sorry. He had to. Loser. Democratic Party pet and now a loser. So, beyond that, turns out that what I had posted was a volcanic eruption has caused a cooling effect on the Atlantic Ocean, and no computer models have ever been constructed for this. So this spurious science of computer model theorization on how the atmosphere functions has now been openly admitted that, oh, okay, one of the issues that we don't really understand is the relationship of how, of light warming different surfaces, what would then happen if that was interrupted and cooled. They don't have data on that. So fundamentally it's one of those things of if we hadn't seen it, how would we have a record of it? Because of course that's the spurious end of climate science, that what direct observational data they have is relatively limited, extremely limited. So now with the Atlantic Ocean cooling, all models are broken. There's now no way, and actually that's even what's been said. What was funny though was the way it was said. It was said that the tropics are broken. So it's not that their models and their theories are broken. It was that the person expressed it as the thing itself is broken. So that was pretty good. I thought that, okay, this is not the same place. No, that's a design place. I just had to take a second look at this because I was like, this is really not here. It's just finding a notary public. I now know where the notary public is around me, but it's like nuts. Thought that was there. Anyway, so now nobody has any. All the climate science models are shot. They have their predictive value is dropping by the second, and they had to admit it all over Twitter. So another thing that has now just piqued my interest is what we're now seeing from the activists in art. So these people whose touch has been, the kiss of death. And then on top of it, so one of the interesting things is this idea of, because we worked on Alan Wake 2, because, there was this talk between these three shills that was happening, and because we worked on Alan Wake 2, because we worked on Spider-Man, yada yada yada, and there's and they were like, and now they have all these Gamergate people, they see us as trying to destroy video games or something or other like that. So I started to think about how this was being approached and walked through by these three. So it wasn't that when people fundamentally looked ahead, said, okay, wait, it's not that I don't trust this developer at all. It's that they've had this quite specific group of people influence the game and its creation. Well, what does it look like? That's the thing that I'm very, very fascinated. They won't bring this up. They won't bring up, no, people went out of their way to find out what your game was going to be like. And when they did get even an inkling of it, people, most gamers were like, most video game enthusiasts and fans, and then people that just like, especially artwork and the present era of artwork as it manifests in the video game industry, that there's nothing you guys made. What you guys made is children with crayons when you compare it to Wukong. Wukong's a different level of reality. It's as if you're seeing a dream where you, like, what you guys made is like this sort of bizarre version of what you want reality to kind of be like over and over again. And wow. Oh my gosh. Reality should be more like that. That's what I'm talking about. I hope I caught that on there. Oh man, because that was a 45 Chevrolet, wasn't it? Or no, not 45. Oh yeah, I think because that's what it said on there. But I mean, would that suit with the wheel wells? Going back to 45? Shoot, I don't know the cars of that era that well. I mean, I'm not really that kind of guy, but I mean, it's like, but you know, I like the designs of different eras, so I'm trying to remember if that's the design style of that era. But back to that issue about back to that issue of the art style that ended up infecting everything that was made by these specific groups of consultants. That if what you were seeing was over and over and over again, that the advice of some consigliere, made you lose money. If you're getting advice from someone and you kept losing money, or your events kept just bombing, you would think, well, this person's advice isn't very good. Yet somehow this is being defended. This is and nobody else would do this in any case in their personal life. Every time I listen to this person, I lose like all the money. And then I get mocked. What I made is mocked round. Everybody goes off on what I made. Like, just totally lampoons it. And it's now this idea like that's like the fault of the people lampooning it. No, it's the action of the people lampooning it, but you gave them something to lampoon. And you gave them a lot to lampoon. And so now they're like, oh, we're declaring war on the gamers, which of course you won't win. Because November and December are coming. And that's it. You've got to make those holiday sales. That's all there is to it. All this Sweet Baby Incorporated, Black Girl Gamers, what was it? Was it IGN who was interviewing, or the Verge? Yeah, the Verge. All of it. Whatever their names were, Jackal, Shania, whatever, Shay Shay, Tachyana, I don't know. It doesn't matter. You won't make the holiday sales. And once you don't make the holiday sales, there's going to be a quiet way that the industry is going to have to, in the words of Charlie and Candy Mountain, shun you. Yeah, that's what's going to have to happen. And because you're left of center, that's how it will be done. It'll be a quiet shunning, like what's happening with the fact that DI, in many and most situations, is unconstitutional because it's open racial and ethnic and a wide variety of forms of discrimination in hiring and promotion. That's a solid, like that's absolute. That's 2 sentences long. It's clear what it is illegal for these reasons. It is unconstitutional for these reasons. It violates constitutional protections that people have from such discrimination. So that's now you have this solid problem of, or you can fight back with this kind of amorphous, gossamer cloud of words that it's like, oh, well, we bring vibrational, diverse energy to the something or other, and it's just, now it doesn't matter. And that's the beauty of it. You didn't make the sales. I had to face this. At some point in my life, I didn't make the sales. I was out of a job because I couldn't pull it off. I had to face it. So if you're in the creative field and you didn't put butts in the seats or you didn't make the sales, you didn't. And that's the business of that kind of thing. And remember, there's a lot of jobs out there that you don't want to have. For example, so you should be lucky you have this very good opportunity you have now. Yeah, I don't know what else. I mean, I wish I had this to just tell people making a video game what I think should be in a video game and get paid like moolah for that. Oh my God, sign me up. What books do I have to read? What do I have to know? But to hear that these complaints, that it's like whole studios have collapsed, and you cost one studio, was it up to now $200 million? That's a quarter of a bill. That's an unfathomable loss. And then in the cases of like things like Star Wars, you caused even more permanent damage to an IP that was just a platinum mine with all of its episodes already written out that would have probably taken 20 to 30 years to get through all of this stuff that was beloved by fans in the form of lore and canon. But it just, and you ruined it. You got people like you all ruined that. It was a platinum mine waiting for you to expand upon. And that's the worst part, is this is also indicative that you didn't like role-playing games. You never really liked role-playing games. You're not those kind of people. So, you're the genuine not real nerds. And because role-playing games require reading. And dorks don't read. And that's what this kind of keeps coming up about this, is that almost the thing that the nerd by is that they know this book from end to end. The dork doesn't know the book from end to end, but they've heard about like the story. And it's just, and if you're going to sell business to nerds, you got to know the nerds. You just have to. It doesn't work another way. You got to know your audience. So I just started thinking about that, like more and more, like how this is just becoming now this thing that this constant, like, oh yeah, we there's these people who are after us because we're just so amazing and blah blah blah, and it's like you cost money everywhere you go. You're literally the third woman who entered. Was it what was it? Who is? Oh gosh, one of you guys I'm sure knows the story where I'm Delight or something, and and my like beauty never fades or blah blah blah, and then behind comes in this pushy old haggard old woman and said, oh my god, who is this? Oh, that's like something like I forget what her name was, but she's always with me. And it's like, but you guys are the second one. Like, there's no sweetness to it. There's no beauty. There's no sweetness. There's none of that's there. I'm like really, I'm like amazed by that. No beauty, no sweetness. Just this this meanness and bitterness of some sort, and then this weird thing. Why do all your characters look like about 10 people? It's like a sampling of about 10 to 20 people, it seems, personally, from game to game to game. Then the visuals are all similar. So there's something, and the fact that this is easy to pick out with the eye, it's just like, no. This isn't just a style of the era. Something's going on with you guys trying to make sure your games can be identified. That is what you're trying to do. You do want people to be able to identify what you've worked on by seeing it and hearing it. And, it should have a certain kind of feel. I mean, this makes sense. That actually totally makes sense. Like Tarantino's music and certain stylistic things, that's the memory you have of the movie. I just think about, like, so obviously you wanted a style and a feel to the game that would be associated with your group's consultation. But once people could identify that style and they're like, oh yeah, I hate the way these people make games, then you're really angry about it. And so that's all on you. That's completely and totally all on you guys. You dug this hole. There's now not really a way out of it. So good luck. I mean, really, and it's going to take luck, because it doesn't seem that you have the self-effacement quality to actually just in some way change your ways. All right, later.